everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you a recipe that I use to make homemade energy bars. They're a chocolate peanut butter energy bar and my family loves them. And I've saved quite a bit of money making them because those bars can get pretty darn expensive if you're going to the health food store, the grocery store, or even Walmart to buy them. And then you really don't know for sure what you're getting. A lot of them have a lot of ingredients added that are not natural or something that you just might not want. This way I can control what's in it and my family loves them. So I'm going to show you real quick the ingredients before I get to making them. I also will put the recipe down below so you can refer to it. It starts off with oats, so I just use the quick oats and I just buy the generic brand because, you know, hey, oats are oats for the most part. It uses wheat puffs. You can buy Quaker wheat puffs or I just bought the generic. And the same thing with the crispy rice, which are Rice Krispies, but this is a generic form. And it works just fine. Sunflower kernels. Peanut butter. Now this is where I'm going to get a little bit specific. I use the Smuckers all natural. And I really like this. On your peanut butter, look at the label, and if it says anything besides peanuts and salt, it isn't healthy no matter what it says. Some of the ones say they're natural, low fat, which those are always alarm bells to me, but when it says anything other than peanuts or salt, put it back because it probably has added sugars or other ingredients that are not good for you. So, and this tastes really good, and it's only, I think, $2.99 a jar. Can't beat that. Almond Slivers, I usually buy a bigger bag, but they were out of them, so I bought the little bag. Milk chocolate chips. Now, I personally like milk chocolate. I know a lot of people like dark chocolate or the semi-sweet. I buy the milk. I know that dark chocolate is a little bit healthier for you, but when you're buying the chips, the dark chocolate's not the healthy one. Now, there's not that much in it to really make that much of a difference. So I buy the milk chocolate because that's what I like. Flaxseed, I buy it in a big bag and I store it in this lock and lock container, which I labeled. You know me and my labels. Brown sugar, once again, it's in the label, and this is the light brown sugar. And that's it on the ingredient. Oh, agave nectar. I almost forgot. Agave nectar. Now, I had trouble finding it when I first started making it, and I had to have someone at the grocery store find it for me because I thought it would be in with the syrups, like the syrups for your pancakes and French toast. It's not. It is by the sweeteners, by the corn syrup and sugar and stuff like that. So agave nectar. So sometimes I buy the darker, and it really doesn't seem to matter which one I buy as far as the recipe goes. They tend to cook up the same and we enjoy it. I've had a couple people ask me when I wore this shirt out in the gym. I did it all for the cookie. I got this at a Beachbody Summit last year, and I think you can buy it on Beachbody's site. It's Autumn Calabrese who does a 21-day fix. It's one of her designs. So if you're interested in the shirt, you can probably go on Beachbody's site and see if it's there. Now I will get to making the goodies. Okay, I moved the camera so you could get a better view of what I'm doing. I put all my dry ingredients into my bowl, and I used a Pampered Chef bowl just because I like it. Got out my cake pan, and this is a very old, I forget what these kind of pans were called, silicone cake pan, and I really don't use it for anything else but this, and it works great for this. It doesn't work so great for cakes if you're going to cut into it because you can cut the silicone, but it works really great for this because I can put it in the refrigerator and peel it back and then cut off what I'm doing. So on the stove I have heated up the peanut butter and agave nectar and put in the brown sugar. So now I'm ready to dump that into my dry ingredients. Okay, and now I just stir that up. I'll show you the consistency after I get it. The liquids will kind of melt the chocolate, and that makes it even more runny. I'm going to move the camera here so you can see what that looks like. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this into my pan. And you can put it into any size cake pan. This works well for me because I like the size of it, then they're nice and thick. When Nathan was around, I used to make it in a bigger pan because I would send a container home with him, and I always knew it was time to make some more because I would come home and my empty lock and lock containers would be sitting on the counter, and that was his signal to me that I needed to fill them back up. So I would make some more, fill them back up, and he would come out and get them. So then I take Glad wrap or any type of parchment paper works. This is what I have right now, and I cover it and I push it down. So yeah, you get a little bit of a workout on your upper body here. You want to push it down and compact it. And when I lift that, I kind of do it again. The tighter that you can get it and get the air out of it, the better they will be when they stick together, as opposed to falling apart when you cut them into bars. And you can cut them into any size that you like. Then I lift it off again so that it's not down tight, and I'll put this in the refrigerator, and I usually let it sit for 4 or 5 hours, and then I cut it into pieces. Sometimes I make it and let it sit overnight. So I will come back and show you the finished product. Hi everyone, it is almost time to go to bed, and I've had these energy bars sitting in the refrigerator for about 6 hours, and I'm going to show you how I cut them up. In this pan, I just pull it back. Okay, I moved the camera down so you can see what I am doing. I take mine out of the pan. Now, if you have a regular cake pan, you can just leave it in the cake pan and cut it. This is about the size pieces that I cut it into. And I store them in a container. I will go ahead and cut the rest of them up. And you can see some of them do fall apart, and kind of the rule is anything that falls apart, you go ahead and eat it, and then it doesn't count. I will cut these up and come back when I'm all done. Okay, I have finished cutting up the bars, and I put 2 layers in this larger storage container, and this will go in the freezer. And then I fill up this smaller lock and lock, and this will go in the refrigerator. I learned the hard way. I put everything into a container a little bit bigger than this, and everybody was taking pieces out as we went, and about halfway through they kind of dried out a little bit, and I guess I determined that the lid wasn't always getting put back on correctly, and it was getting opened an awful lot. So I just put these in the freezer. this in the refrigerator. When this is empty, I take the top row off of that and it fits perfectly into here. Put this back in the refrigerator full. This goes back in the freezer. This will last us anywhere from 2.5 to 3 weeks, depending on how often my granddaughters are here and how much my son Ryan's here. They're tasty. I figured up, and this is just a guess, that I have about $8 in all of this, and that was a very conservative estimate. Because some things like my brown sugar, you know, I bought it and I was estimating how much I used out of it, and it's almost impossible to tell. So I probably overestimated how much I have in things like my brown sugar and things that I just, in the flaxseed, you know, that I just don't go through. I have not repurchased flaxseed for quite a while. So it lasts, really the only thing, the Agave Nectar lasts me 2 times, and that runs around $5 to $6 depending on if it's on sale. That's really the most expensive part of the equation, and it takes half of it, so it takes $3, about $3 worth of the nectar, but it works really well, and my family loves these, and I know what they're getting. I know nutrition wise, I have a good guess on the calories, and I have a good guess on how much of it they're eating, and if I'm packing a lunch for any of them, I may pack 2, you know, and I'll say that this is your snack and you can eat that, and they really like it, and I feel good knowing that I am providing them something nutritious. You can call it nutritious. There's a lot of really good things in here for them, and they're not getting the processed stuff that come in the energy bars that you buy at the grocery store. And for a Quest bar, which they're good, and an Oh Yeah bar and the other protein bars, you're going to pay anywhere from $2 to $2.80, sometimes up to $3 for the bar, and that's just for one bar. And I've got about $8, and I've got 2.5 to 3 weeks worth of bars for my family. So this, I feel, is a much healthier choice, and I definitely save money doing that. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed watching me make these energy bars, and that maybe you'll try to make them for your family. They're super easy to make. Usually I make them, and the next morning we'll cut them. If I don't cut them and I go to work, I come home, other people have cut them, and then they're just all haphazard and maybe not covered back up. So I try to cut them and not leave them in there. Also, if you have them in a pan and you don't cut them, for some reason they don't tend to last as well, and I guess maybe the air when they're covering them, the cake pan up, because I did that too, covered the cake pan up and was just cutting it as we went. I wasn't using my ceramic one, silicone one, I mean. We were using a regular cake pan, and they tended to get dried out, and then they got a little bit crumbly at the end. So this works best for me. I don't know if you can still buy those silicone bake pans. I bought those back 10 years ago when that was on an infomercial, and about that and some other cake pans, and those are really the only things I have left. The others have all kind of ruined, but those work really well for this. And like I said, I have about $8 in these energy bars, and that should last us 2.5 to 3 weeks, and I know what they're eating. So anyway, it's tired, it's time to go to bed. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will be back next week with another episode. If you have anything that you would like me to come up with a healthier alternative or a less expensive alternative, let me know, and I will do some research on it, because sometimes eating healthy can cost more. But there's lots of times eating healthy, if you just do a little bit of legwork, it's cheaper. You know, this saves a bunch of money. And I know that lots of times busy moms and dads that, you know, money might be tight, they're having to dole out a couple dollars here and a couple dollars there for energy bars when their kids are playing sports because they need something to eat during the game. If you have these packed, take it to your baseball tournament or basketball, whatever it is your kids are playing. They're getting something that you know what's in it, and save that money for something a little more important. So anyway, thank you for joining us, and I will see you in our next video. I really appreciate you watching.